Mick, the odds have stacked against you at quarter time, 30 points down. It was a great fight back there for the Fox.
It was a good fight back. Game's never dead until the last siren.
What was the key to turning that around at quarter time?
Well, I didn't think we were that bad in the first quarter. They got some very easy goals. We needed to close that down, and on the run through that 50-metre line. And I thought when we got the ball in there, we scored. So in the first quarter, we didn't get it in there enough on our terms, but when we did, so I just thought if we stuck to it long enough and just changed a couple of things around, it might turn for us.
Seemed to put the acid on Mitch Robinson a couple of weeks back, and he responded pretty well to that.
He was very good, right? Yeah. Nice and hard at it. Good. What did we get? Clearances. Yeah, he didn't set the. 4. 7 inside 50s.
The other people that move as well seem to be Dennis Armfield to Brendan Ellis, who was playing really well in the first quarter. Armfield really
Yeah, he did. Yeah, some big jobs. We were all over the shop the first quarter. We just didn't really take the initiative at times with players who had jobs, and really had to reorganise ourselves. Just trying to find Armfield in here. I think Dennis is probably a bloke that needs a job. And first quarter, he wasn't bad, but we just didn't get a lot from what was happening out there. In fact, when I look at it, he only had 2 hand passes. So the job that he had in the first quarter didn't materialise the way we thought. Whereas from there on in, he had a target. I'm not saying that's he needs all the time, because as a high forward where he generally plays, he's very competitive. It's just this time he had a target and he was able to do it pretty well.
You also seemed to get a little bit more outside possession from the second quarter onwards, and particularly in that second term, you were really sort of like picking out targets in the forward line, like McLean and things like that, and he responded very well.
Well, Bob McLean's had a pretty good year. We with the blokes that are out of the side, it was important that Bell's only had 16 possessions, but he was nice and hard at it. He's not as clinical as some of the other mids going around, but he was nice and hard. Betts went through there a couple of times. Didn't have any centre clearances, but had clearances. Robbie Warnock, I reckon, is still giving us an opportunity. I'm not too sure what the hit-outs were. 47 each, so there. It's not as comprehensive as what I thought. But nonetheless, he's not allowing the opposition generally to get. They belted us in the first half stoppage-wise, but we got back, and I think at the end we probably won it, 44-36. So we were able to turn that around through a few just slight alterations, and the player gripped that. I just think that the credit can go to the team, but it also has got to go to the leadership group, and that's Mark Murphy with his group and the leaders around the ground. Not only the leadership group, but Michael Jamieson steadied the back line. I thought that Henderson steadied the forward line when need be. I thought Betts steadied the forward line, the Smalls. He didn't have a massive ball game, but he was able to do those things. I thought Warnock in the middle and Gibbs. So there's some really quality leadership out there, and at times through this year that hasn't come to the fore, and I think it's been too reliant on Mark Murphy or to Chris Judd or to Cade Simpson. The responsibility fell to a lot of people today, and they accepted it. Heath Scotland's always been a bit of a leader, but I thought today his directions and that sort of stuff were terrific.
You showed great leadership as well. I think it was a minute in the first quarter you killed that brilliant goal from 55. Almost sort of set the tone for the team.
Yeah, he's played pretty well.
You're a bit on the man today too, and playing against a Tigers side that had plenty on the line. What does that sort of say about the team's depth, pleasing?
Well, we introduced a new player, and even the last quarter he's had 6 and 1. He's a terrific young kid, Nick Graham. Menzel will get better. Said to him, what happened with that shot on goal? And this is something that we really have to look at. As he ran, a whole heap of birds flew up in front of him. He said it just put him straight off. We can't have sport like that on this ground. We've got to be able to eliminate that. So that's another issue, of course. But he will get better as time goes. He kicked another couple of goals. It's 4 in 2 weeks, so it's nice and handy. So the depth. Our VFL side going okay, not setting the world on fire. We're 5th or 6th, so there's a little bit there, and the boys that come in have done pretty well for us.
There's a tough challenge as well. Josh Boots won Jack very well in that first quarter.
Big one.
There's a tough challenge with Josh Boots won.
Well, we're undermanned down there, and Josh's greatest asset is his ability with speed and spoiling, and we didn't see it. So it really threw us about, and that's why we ended up putting weight back there, because he wasn't having a great day on the forward line. And I think that's that flexibility that we need. And Jared actually jumped up and did pretty well for us. I think he had a couple of goals kicked on him, but nonetheless he was able to actually give us a little bit of opportunity to swing the side around and put... in many respects, bring Nick on a bit earlier. You know, you generally hold that off, but Josh didn't have a great day and is the first to admit it, so we're able to get fresh legs on pretty quickly.
Last question, guys.
So this almost puts final back, the destiny back in your own hands.
Oh well, I think we'll start worrying about Essendon before we start worrying about the last game. It's going to be a big job, big game next week, massive game.
Confident that this same form can be reproduced again on what is.
Well, how would you know? How would you know? We play football. We're not robots. You'd love to think that happens.
If you do make finals, is Chris Judd any chance to come back for that?
He sat in the coach's box today. I think 2 things have happened out of that. He was wrapped in the wind and he can never coach. So will he be back? He's got a chance. Yeah, I think so.
All right, thanks, guys.
Good.